the random touch point for today is what is stress and how to deal with it. And this is just my point of view, as I said. And you can take it into account, but it doesn't have to count if it doesn't sit. But I'm going to give you my understanding. So stress is a constraining force or influence, a force exerted when one body or body parts presses on, pulls on, pushes against, or tends to compress or twist another body or body part. And the deformation caused by a body, such as a force, physical, chemical, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension and may be a factor in disease causation. How's that, eh? So stress can cause sickness, and this is why we want to deal with it. Now, for me, stress is not necessarily a bad thing. Ask an elastic. So if you take an elastic band, and I have elastic band here. Can you hear that? Now, elastic band is made to be put under stress. So if you pull an elastic band and you pull it, it gets to a point where it can't be stretched anymore and then it breaks. You don't want to be there. But if you use it within its realm, it can actually be quite effective and it can assist in certain tasks. Now, with you and I, we do go under stress. Remember, I do teach you that life doesn't get better, you get better. So now with an elastic band in your life, we are going to be put under pressure, and to be used for the function, stress is what we're going to incur. But you don't want it to go any further than that. So as I've spoken about before, we have an emotional tank that sits within our system. Just imagine it. And this tank needs to be full at all times because it contains emotional energy. And we need emotional energy to deal with whatever we go through in our life. Understanding that even good things can drain us. It takes emotional energy to get happy. It takes emotional energy to get sad. It doesn't matter where you drive your car or your destination, it's going to use petrol. But you don't get upset when you run out of petrol because you understand that you are driving it to an extent of what petrol's in the tank. Now, if you take it easy, you might be able to drive further. But there will be a day that you run out of petrol if you don't keep on topping it up. Same thing with our life. Now, the different phases that we go through is as our emotional tank does drain, our first is stress. Then we go into depression, and then we go into emotional breakdown. And that actually leads to giving up and walking away. So to ensure that you don't get too far down, is you've got to fill yourself. So what are the things? And you can send me a message and tell me what are the things that fill you. But now I want to make sure that you are held accountable. So I'll hold you accountable to do at least 5 things in your week that fill you. Now it can be 5 times of one thing, but it could be a sunset one day, a photograph the next day, a good movie the next day, some friends the following, and retail therapy. What is the thing that fills you emotionally? Because if you get put under stress and you don't have enough emotional energy to compensate, it's going to put you in a very challenging situation. So to deal with stress in the simplest way that I can assist you is to make sure that you do things that fill you. When was your last sunset, if you enjoy sunset? When was your last painting, if you enjoy painting? And you need to put it in your diary, schedule it as an appointment. If it's lying in a nice bubble bath for an hour, listening to your favorite music, do something that fills you emotionally. If you like movies, take a person that will laugh with you, that will not judge the movie or why do you think that's funny. Somebody that would appreciate you and celebrate you. Whatever fills you, that cup of coffee, do it. Because without keeping our emotional tank full, it will drain, we get under stress, move into depression, and it goes down a really dark road. So just to encourage you, in short, to deal with stress, do things that fill you. Story does continue. Don't you go away.
The power of his dream brings you here. HISMAN Sean Collard.